We first met Ben Anderson when we started VBS, actually. We went to Spike Jonze, our creative director's house, along with some of the most talented editors and shooters and, you know, talent that Spike had put together. All we did was watch Ben Anderson footage from Africa and North Korea, which I then ripped off when I went to North Korea, Iran, Iraq. It was just fascinating stuff. He ended up getting in a fight, and Johnny Knoxville had to go save him and sneak him into a club. And since then, we've been wanting to work with Ben, and we knew that he had been working in Afghanistan for the past 3 years on making a documentary there. And lately, Afghanistan's been in the news, and you know, we're spending more and more money there. We're losing more and more ground. And generally what we found with VBS is what you hear in the mainstream media versus what is actually happening are two completely different things. So what he showed us blew our minds. I mean, it's completely insane, and it's also very complex. So we wanted him to come over and explain to us what we're about to see.
You are to keep the bottles. You can fill the bottles up using either stream water or when you go into the compound from a well.
Yeah, this is normal, yeah, confusion. They all gather around. Like, he wants a lot of the water for himself and he says he's going to sort it out. But if you give it to him, he'll just fuck off with a lot. So nothing will get sorted out. They just fill his vehicle, no one will get none. So you have to sort it out between them. Like kids.
That guy's the British Army, and the other guys are?
Afghan National Army.
Afghan National Army.
And that's basically our exit strategy. The idea is when these guys can stand up and provide security on their own, we can all get out.
But they can't even give them water without them taking it.
No, they can't even get them to wear their helmets and flak jackets. Seems like quite a chaotic start though.
This is good.
Is it?
This is fucking squared away. Mate, they got vehicles and everything. Well done.
How difficult is it to organise these guys?
It just takes a bit of time. They're all mad. They all want to go on the mission, but they're not fully functioning yet. They need us to mentor them and make sure they've got all the kit and equipment they need. They'll go without water and without food and hope for the best. They think we can manage, magic things up, just invent things and produce a fuel truck for them, but we can't. When we come under contact with the enemy, sometimes you need to put them on a lead, and hold them back, because they'll just go and go and go until they kill more and more Taliban. And that's all they want to do. That's what their life is.
So I know that there's problems in Pakistan with, Muslim fighting Muslim. Why would the ANA fight the Taliban?
I think for them it's work. It's not ideology at all. And there's an old saying. I think you can hire an Afghan army, but you can never buy one.
Right.
So loyalty is never taken for granted.
They are excited and they are brave soldiers, and they're like children. Their attention span doesn't last very long. They soon get bored. At the moment, I think they're all here. Clint Eastwood is though.
Cowboy hat.
Yeah.
How you doing? Have you given up on making them wear the uniform exactly the way they're supposed to wear?
No, I don't care. As long as they go out and do the job and do what they're told and we taught them right. They enjoy wearing their shamags and t-shirts and looking like, Rambo when they go out. I'm not bothered. As long as they've got the weapon, their ammunition and all the stuff they need to sustain themselves, I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
They're so bright and colourful, all of them. It's a wonderful sight, really. They're a very sort of visual army. It's great.
So in the past, the problem and the criticism has always been that Brits, Americans, whoever it is, just control towns or bases, and they're isolated from the community, and the Taliban can roll around freely in the rest of the country apart from these big bases. The aim of this mission was to actually clear ground of the Taliban and then hold on to it for the first time, actually keep hold of that land and stop the Taliban from coming back.
With this amount of manpower, we should have enough tomorrow to commit to a good scrap with the enemy if they choose to pick one with us. We aim to destroy the enemy and take the ground this time and not cede it again.
If they can get forward, destroy the Taliban and then hold that ground, it's a massive morale boost for the ANA and for our boys. So, that's what they're looking forward to doing.
Did they know exactly where they were going?
They know the general region, yeah, because they have to know, but we try and keep up security to a minimum so we can otherwise they'll get on a mobile phone and start phoning everyone around the Gresh area they know, and then they'll pass it on to the Taliban.
So there's a worry that some of the soldiers might actually intentionally be giving information to the Taliban?
Yeah, people have been caught out before in the ANA, and they've been disciplined in their own chain.
And remained within the ANA?
No, they've been kicked out of the ANA. They've probably then gone and joined the Taliban, but...
The ANA, the Afghan National Army, they can't tell them where they're going because they'll call the Taliban and let them know.
And tell them where they're going, what the plan is.
Why in God's name would they do that?
Because the Taliban pay much better salaries than any government job, police, army, whatever it is.
So they pay them, and then they say, "Oh, we're coming here now. Kill us."
Yeah. So this is what all of Helmand is like, just desert. But then the area where the fighting is called the Green Zone, and complete opposite to the Iraq Green Zone. It's the most dangerous place because it's the one fertile strip of land there, and there are so many hiding places for the Taliban that's where they love to fight.
Right.
And that's where the British and the ANA have to go looking for the Taliban.
Green zone, bad zone.
Yeah.
They've watched us so far, last hour and a half, 2 hours.
Everyone knows we're here.
Yeah, it would have been. They knew there was an op coming because they're used to it, and they'd have gone right. Okay, civvies go that way. Taliban go that way to where their fallback positions.
Yeah.
And it's a waiting game. We'll outnumber them, we'll firepower them, and they know that. And they will stand and fight sooner or later because they'll have to. Also, that's what they do.
The Taliban have got a really sophisticated network of dickers. It's a phrase that comes from Northern Ireland. Local people with mobile phones, as soon as they see us coming, as soon as they see the soldiers coming, they'll tell them exactly our movement. So the Brits take it for granted. The Taliban know their every movement. You see us walking through this town, it's completely deserted. That's every single time we got ambushed, this happened first. You'd walk around completely deserted, because the civilians are very streetwise. They know where the Taliban are, they see the British soldiers coming, they know there's going to be a fight, so they get out of there. So as soon as you find an area like this that's deserted, you know there's going to be fighting.
All these compounds make up the village of Kakaran. We're just clearing through them. It's a painstaking process.
Did you expect it to be this quiet?
It swings and roundabouts. Sometimes it is this quiet. Other times you might meet 1 or 2 people. By and large, because this area has seen quite a bit of fighting over the last couple of months, a lot of the families have moved out. But hopefully after the next couple of days, we will have taken this area properly, secured it, and send a message that people can move back into their compounds.
Is that poppy right there?
Yeah, everywhere you go. I mean, without exaggeration, just about every single house we went into had a pile of harvested opium poppies as tall as you. Over 90% of our heroin, Britain's heroin, comes from Afghanistan. The Afghan National Army can use their radio to get on the same channel as the Taliban and listen to what they're saying and planning. What are they saying?
So that they're about to attack. They are getting ready for attack, to attack us.
To attack us here?
Yes.
Do you know where they are?
No, the location is not known. Just they are asking where are located. They tell us that's where that we're located in the morning.
He's saying that he knows that the Taliban are going to attack you right then.
Yeah.
And were you scared?
Yeah, you're scared, but you get used to it very quickly. This is everyday life for these guys out there.
How does he know the Taliban know?
He's just got a normal CB and he finds the same channel the Taliban are speaking on. He hears them saying, okay, I can see them as soon as they come out of that street, as soon as they come from behind that wall, we'll attack.
Jesus Christ.
Are they close?
Yes.
So we'd walked through the entire town, cleared the whole town, really surprised not to see any civilians, any Taliban, and almost the last building we could see, there's a team of Taliban waiting there to fire upon us. So as happens every single time, the fight happens where they want it to happen.
Possible positive identification of 2 times Taliban. We're going to engage with RPG, see if it provokes a response, and if so, assault that enemy position. Over. That side. Okay, get the RPG up there, yeah? Get out of that back blast.
This guy lived for firing his RPG. So we think it's a sighting of 2 Taliban. Apparently all they have to do is send foot patrols out to harass, then run away and lure British forces into a trap where they can be attacked by 360 degrees. Just waiting to see if there's a response to the RPG that's just been fired. They're loading another one now. You know, you get a lot of stuff about our poor soldiers are getting bogged down in this quagmire, and the Brits know exactly what's going on and go ahead anyway.
Right.
You know,
Why?
they're quite happy to go there and have a fight with them. They know they're walking into a trap, but they're looking for it.
6-0 Alpha, 6-3 Alpha, that's us now being engaged by RPG and small arms from Kilo. If you could put air on that, that'd be lovely, over. Whoa! Where the fuck are they coming from?
I'm stuck.
6-3 Alpha. 6-3 Alpha, that's enemy trying to move, as I said, to the north of our current position. They're trying to do the traditional in a circle thing, so the sooner we can push forward, the better, over.
Despite all that firepower,
yeah.
The Taliban have moved around this way slightly and fired us directly from this hedgerow here, making this cover useless.
The message on the ICOM chatter said they were going to send their friends. So what I'm thinking is probably happening is that the original 4 Taliban are trying to push forward to the compound that's kind of 50 metres just onto our right, and that the friends are the ones who are now up in that hedge line there. Right, there's 80 coming in.
So, is that all going?
No, that's stuff coming into us.
Now they're shooting at you there, so you're encircled now then.
Yeah, they were paying attention to a small team round the corner to our right. Suddenly other teams have arrived firing straight at us, making the wall that we're hiding behind useless. The Taliban are a lot closer than they thought.
We've got a compound half right here. Alpha and Bravo are going to go and assault that compound. You've got 60 metres of open ground, possible enemy in the compound, and we'll just clear through with 3 squads of ANA.
What the fucking hell was that?
Right, just stay right in. Stay right in. Just coming straight over.
That was the Apache, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what they're saying there.
We're all looking ahead to the area, the hedgerow where the Taliban were shooting us from. Helicopter comes over, we hear the explosions, but there's no smoke. Look to our left and the field next to us has been strafed.
So they're strafing you and not the Taliban?
Not us, but very close to us, too close to us, and nowhere near the Taliban.
Situation normal, all fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, the attack helicopters are lining
up for Hellfire.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure which compound. Probably.
No, mate, it can't be that one because they're sat right by it.
Something's hit this compound here. That's where all the shouting came from.
What the hell?
Looks like. Obviously, they've just dropped that Hellfire straight into the centre of that compound.
So the helicopter was called in for a strike. We thought a compound over here somewhere where the Taliban were firing from. Instead, it looks like they hit this compound here, where Paddy and some soldiers, anti-ANA soldiers, were hiding and waiting. We're already nervous about the helicopter because of what's just happened. And again, no smoke rises from the Taliban positions. I look around the corner and see that the compound that some of the Brits and Afghans have stormed has been hit by the Hellfire missile.
So they bombed your own guys?
Yeah.
بر پدر از یا نالت قید اجرات از یا چی میکنه برای من غم درد سر جور میکنه کل پرسنل تباه کرد یا
There is this compound. Our plane is bomb and my 6 guys is casualty.
We then decided to go to the building and we thought we were going to see 6 corpses in there. gone to check on the ANA casualties. The ANA soldiers are saying that 6 of them have been killed by the friendly Apache helicopter, which is still hovering overhead.
I'm in! We're going to get back to that compound over there as soon as we can. Go on!
Go!
Come on! Come on!
We've decided to run for the compound to see if there are 6 Afghan soldiers dead there. Some soldiers arrive to give covering fire. We come under heavy fire as we run to the compound.
Over.
Come on! Right, come on. Oh, 1-1 Bravo, stand up.
Let's go.
There's one small front door, and that's it. We're now surrounded by the Taliban. ANA soldiers all okay?
Yes, my soldiers, every good.
Nobody killed?
No.
Nobody killed here?
No.
Good luck.
6 RPG.
You fired 6 RPGs?
7 shoot fire. Taliban finish.
Now the Taliban fire RPGs at us. This compound wasn't abandoned. There's a family behind me, 1 old man, 5 children, 3 of whom look 2-3 years old. Absolutely terrified.
So there's a family there. The Hellfire missile came in, blew up their house, and they're still in the house during the firefight.
Yeah, they're stuck in the house. That was probably the most shocking thing I saw in my entire time in Afghanistan. These literally babies covered in dust, crying, absolutely petrified. And you can see where the missile struck. They must have been right next to the explosion when the missile landed.
Because there are a number of compounds which aren't very clearly identifiable on the air force. We called in the compound we thought we were in, according to the GPS fix, and obviously they corresponded. They thought that was the compound we were in. So when they called the Hellfire in, it came in on this position. It's difficult enough when you're firing on your own troops, let alone if you then come into the compound and there's people who've been hiding. But fortunately, I think everyone was all right. Sort of a few slightly shaky eardrums other than anything else.
So there's only one compound with British troops in it, and they've got that one.
Yeah. I mean, there aren't detailed maps of this place. And what maps they have got a rough guide, but there are buildings that aren't on a map. There are buildings that look like other buildings. It's very, very difficult, especially when you haven't got time to really work things out.
Right, all call signs go firm. They're calling in strafe on target. Whiskey forward. 6 for Alpha, Roger. We will stay firm in this target location with the grid we've given you. I don't know what letter it is, but let's just hope it doesn't come in on us. Over.
There's been 2 times where it comes in on you, and now the 3rd time he's calling it in and saying, I hope it doesn't come in on us.
Yeah.
I don't know what the number is. Shoot away.
Yeah. Which they go on to say more and more. They just, abandon themselves to fate by the end of the day.
Alpha, that was spot on. We're now observing for any enemy movement. Over. They're absolutely terrified of the air. The closer, the more risk you can play with. It allows us to get even closer to the enemy. It just means that you've got to slightly steel your nerves for those few moments when the first rounds come in and they might be a little bit closer. So it's all fun and games. So.